All right, folks, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. We're doing it again, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast, from everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park, y'all. You're live with Lonzo and the Dusty One, folks. We're coming here on a Tuesday, folks. Here we are. We are back. I see Dusty hanging out in the dugout, folks. What's up with you, Dusty One?
My man Lonzo, how you doing today, dude?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, Doc. I'm doing fantastic. Got me some new shirts.
Oh, okay. Oh, show us. You got them on you?
Oh, check this out. The Eve After Dark shirt, baby.
Oh, no. What?
The Eve After Dark shirt with all the cities that rock the Eve After Dark, the Eve After Dark logo. From the Super Bowl, presented by yours truly, Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and all the folks that rock the Eve After Dark, all the cities: Compton, Watts, Gardena, Inglewood. So I had to show them all some love, folks. So these are now just got them off the press today, man. They're not even an hour old.
Nice. Do you already have a price point and all that good stuff?
$20.
Okay. Shit. Well, you know I'm gonna be one of the first ones to cop one of those. Everybody in the chat room, I know you want one of those.
$20 plus shipping, folks. If I gotta ship it to you, that's it.
Dope. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Well, dude, let's get into it, man. Before we jump into the show, man. So there's a movie, Lonzo, that I'm pretty sure you're familiar with. Will Smith movie called I Am Legend.
Yeah.
It came out in 2007.
Okay.
There's a scene in the movie I Am Legend that takes place in the future where Legend is passing a gas station. The gas station reads $6.71.
Ooh.
Now, back then, I remember seeing that scene thinking that will never happen. Well, Lonzo, today there are cities in the country that have seen gas prices at $6.71. You've been through a lot of gas shit through like gas shortages and waiting 5 days to get gas. Talk to me about this whole gas situation that can from your thoughts.
Well, every time people get pissed off, they find a reason to raise the gas prices. I remember when Jimmy Carter, I think Carter was the president, and nobody liked Carter. They didn't like Carter at all. Okay, all of a sudden he was a Democrat. Prices. We ain't got no gas. Run out of gas. Run out of oil. Run out of gas. I don't know how you run out of gas. Okay, and they had gas shortages, and literally you could only buy gas on odd and even days. Whatever your license plate said at the end, last number of your license plate. If it was an odd number, you only buy gas on odd days. If it was even, you can only buy gas on even days. Thank God for me, I had a van. And the van had commercial plates on it. So commercial vehicles could buy gas every day. But other than that, man, it was gas lines. People running out of gas in the line. You had to push people. Sometimes people would just wait to the last minute thinking they could go pull up and get some gas. And you got people taking turns, shoving each other's cars through the line. People fighting over gas. Oh, dude, it was horrible, man. It was horrible. It lasted for about a month, I think it was. Maybe about a month. And then one day, all of a sudden they found gas. They just, hey, we got some more gas. Come get some. Okay. Price was a little higher, but we found some, gas, dude, I tell this all the time, man. When I was working with my dad, cutting lawns back in the late 60s, early 70s, late 60s, $5, fill up all the lawnmowers, the gas can, and the rest would go into the truck. Okay. And that was all the gas we needed all day long. We didn't stop to buy no more gas. Now $20 won't even fill up a gas can. A 5-gallon can costs you $30. Okay. I went to fill up my generator. It blew me away because it didn't register with me at first. I got a couple of gas cans in my garage, and I got a little portable generator. I go out and I do events at. I'm gonna fill up my tank in the generator. I'm gonna put some backup gas in the gas can. And I only use my small tank. It was $15 in. Okay. $1.25, man. That ain't been around so long. It was when I first started driving. At 16 years old, gas was 33 cents a gallon, man. Gas stations used to compete for your business by giving you stamps, lower the cigarette prices. But at some point in time, when they stopped having all the different companies, and you got down to the last maybe 4 or 5 companies, Ain't no competition. So why we got to be nice? We ain't got to kiss your ass no more. We ain't no competition. It's the same thing you find with Levi Strauss and a bunch of other companies. There's no competition. Next day, you better watch out. Hope to God Amazon don't go crazy, because Amazon ain't got it. They killed all the competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Amazon killed all the competition. Amazon can pretty much do what they want to. Okay, only person give Amazon a run for their money remotely is Walmart. But Walmart don't deliver like Amazon do. Amazon got trucks everywhere, got people driving, and they're gonna have to at some point in time raise their prices just to compete with the gas, because everything on Amazon, if you got an Amazon Prime card like I do, they give you out of free shipping. They're gonna cut that shit back in a minute. So everything is gonna get affected, folks. Everything.
Man, here we are. Well, you sent me something that I would like to talk about before we really jump into the meat of the show that I think is important to push. But hip-hop artists and community activists and elected officials will be addressing the rise in gun violence at a Peace in the Streets event. Talk to me about this event and what you know about it.
I got hit up about this event a couple of months ago. Beautiful lady, Tina Marie Tyler. She hooked me. She's a member. She's a part of the hip hop.
Anybody named Tina Marie is fly.
University Hip Hop Museum, and she is a peace director. She called me up and said, "Hey, she needs some people. She's doing an event. She's working with Senator Barbara Lee. They have a new bill, HR 111. They're trying to push to get some money, some funding for these streets and keep brothers from killing each other. And they're having a big event tomorrow. Starts at 2:00. I'll be there along with some other folks. Ben Crump, Battle Cat, Big Les is hosting the show, hosting the event. And I guess we're going to discuss some possible programs that could be implemented to reduce this gun violence. And it's going to be streamed on some platforms. Unfortunately, it won't be on the Hip Hop, being the Homegrown Media Network, but it will be on some different platforms. So it's definitely something much needed. Like I said, I'm definitely supported 100%. And I should be speaking there as well. So it should be an interesting event, man. It's something we got to do. We got enough problems as it is to be a problem to ourselves. That's all I can say, man. We got enough problems. We got $5 gas. We got all kind of social problems, civil rights issues that we're dealing with as a people. And I got to watch the nigga next to me too. Come on, man. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. And I was talking about your boy last week, Kodak Black, how he's happy to get a bullet in his ass finally. And I'm like, dude, what kind of mentality is that when you happy to get shot? Okay, when you happy to get shot, man, you know that one bullet. You know, the bullets don't always go in and out. Okay, sometimes they travel in the body. They travel up and tear up some shit on the way out the door. Okay, tear up some organs and some intestines, whatever the case may be. But these are the kind of cats that are, you know, for some reason that mindset is being looked upon as being some type of something cool. And I'll never understand it, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. If you had a magic wand, if you had the solutions, if you had the resources to make this happen, how would you, Alonzo Williams, solve the rise in gun violence?
Probably, I tell you what, I probably raise the price of bullets. Like I tell you what's going to drop down is drive-bys. With gas being what it is, drive-bys is going to be what? Now, I can't afford to go over there and fuck with the mess with people. But you know, I don't know, man. I would love to put some money in everybody's pocket and get some understanding in their heart. But I think would be the first thing, man. Get some understanding in their heart, because most of the stuff that you dealing with, that you prepared to go to jail for, it ain't worth the hassle, man. It ain't worth the hassle. And yes, this event is being done purposely on the anniversary of the death of Notorious B.I.G. So yeah, it's going to be at the Catch One on Adams tomorrow. So yeah, folks, it's definitely it's done on that date on purpose. And so yeah, we need to support this. We need to figure out some way, man. You know, we got enough problems on one side. You can't get rid of the guns. I just say this: don't waste bullets on each other. Okay, learn to whoop somebody's ass.
Man, take it back to the day. Let's talk about Biggie Smalls. We mention him every year, sometime around his birthday as well. Fellow Gemini, shout out to Biggie. Him and I share the same birthday. It's been 26 years tomorrow since the death of Biggie Smalls. Take yourself back to 1997. I know you were, out of the music game really at that point, but 6 months after Pac was killed, what do you remember about the day you heard, man, Biggie Smalls was shot last night? What the fuck?
I found out the next morning, and I was really surprised, man. I was surprised, and I wasn't surprised. I don't do a lot of hip hop events because for some reason, aside from the music, shooting people becomes an activity at a lot of hip hop events, and especially when you have a certain element, you got so much testosterone that wants to be recognized as the gangster. Okay, I didn't go to no death row events. Never been to a death row party. Been invited, never would go. Nah, that's all right. I'll sit this one out. And I heard about the event at the Auto Museum, and I'm like, I ain't tripping. Okay, especially after I think it was an after party for another party. Okay, and at that time, the music elements weren't as bad, but it was smaller, but it was just as tense as it is now. You follow me? It was only two crews that was really beefing, but it was two of the biggest crews that was beefing. Bad Boy and Death Row. And that right there always made for a bad combination. And when I heard he died, I was hurt, man, because I knew it wasn't going to stop. That's just another reason to continue the BS. And what's really surprising me, man, here we are 26 years later, and everybody thinks they know who did it, but ain't nobody went to jail yet. That's the part that I find really amazing. As many people have allegedly proven who was the shooter, the shooter's walking around. He ain't tripping on nobody, could take him to jail. So that makes me really, really wonder what's really going on in the game of hip hop. Okay, they can find everybody that shoot everybody else, but you can't find none of the hip hop victims and none of the shooters in hip hop. That's always been a thorn in my side, a rock in my shoe, I should say.
They someone in our chat back in the day recently said they could find Bin Laden in a hole, but they can't find Tupac's killers or Biggie's killers. Right.
Now they say the Tupac killer is dead. Okay, Orlando Anderson, I think it was. I don't know about Biggie's killer. I don't know. I watched a lot of documentaries, and they ain't showed him being dead. They ain't said about him being dead yet. I'm just curious. It just makes it interesting, folks.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you. Do you think Biggie should have been in LA that soon after Pac was murdered?
You know what? He probably figured it was cool, but because he probably he may not have had nothing to do with that situation with Tupac. He figured, why am I in danger if I ain't got nothing to do with it? Okay, and that right there is a natural assumption. But somebody, someplace felt he needed to be involved or he needed to be punished for it, whatever the case may be. And this is why we're here today. That's why we're going to be there tomorrow.
Man. Now, WAC 100, who says a lot of controversial things online, he was recently on an interview with The Game on the Drink Champs, and he said he believes Tupac was a legend, but Biggie and Nipsey were not legends. I don't want to know if you disagree or agree with him, but in your mind, in your head, what makes someone a legend?
The contribution to the game over a period of time, the consistency of their legacy, no matter what it may be. Some people have hit records and they go away. Some people have a hot label for a minute, disappear. But some people are consistent, and they create a change in the game. Both of them, Biggie and Tupac, changed the game. Nipsey was on his way to change. He had changed the game, but it change hadn't taken effect yet. Okay, I'm not saying he's not a legend. I'm just saying that's possibly why he may feel that way. Who was the other person he said wasn't a legend?
Nipsey Hussle.
And who else? That was it?
And Biggie Smalls. Sorry, Biggie Smalls and Nipsey. He said Tupac was, but Nipsey or Biggie, they're not.
Oh, Biggie definitely was. Biggie definitely. Do you know what Biggie did for fat dudes? Do you know what Biggie did for fat dudes? He put every fat dude in a Borsalino hat and a big suit and had them talking big papa shit. Okay, and he was consistent. He only had what? He had 1 or 2 albums.
He had 1 album before he passed. His second album came out just after he died.
Right. Okay. So both of those albums were bomb. Tupac had multiple albums. He had one double album, right? And he had what was the other one?
Probably maybe 7 or 8 albums under his belt from Strictly for My Ends to pretty much All Eyes on Me or whatever.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So man, the fact that he came from New York and he represented what he did and the way that he did with Junior Mafia, the whole 9 yards, yes, I got to give him legendary status. I would give Nipsey legendary status. I wouldn't put him as a top tier legend, but I would put him as a legend.
Yeah. Do you think that Lonzo Williams is a legend, or is that up for others to decide and not yourself?
You know what? I'm told I'm a legend all the time. And I know why they say that. I'm starting to believe it. But I'd have to say, yeah, only because I've been consistent. I'm not a one-trick pony. I've been consistent in everything I've ever done. You know, not because I'm a big-time rapper or a big-time producer. It's just that my contribution, I always have another contribution to the game. I make sure that I'm not just a one-trick pony. When Dre and them left, I brought in Battle Cat. When Battle Cat them left, I brought in C&W. Now, so I've always been around cultivating acts. My only problem is that I just never was attracted to the gangster lifestyle. I gave them all birth, but I kind of left them alone after a while because that's not something I want to be a part of. I was thinking about that this morning, and I was taking my walk. I walked 3 miles every other morning and 5 miles on Sunday with my boys. And I chose not to sell dope in the 80s. I chose not to be a part of the gangster rap. I don't like looking over my shoulder, okay? When somebody walks up to me, I don't want to have to worry or not if they're going to shoot me or not, or they're going to rob me. I watched too many of my buddies get killed by guys they went to school with. I watched too many people bury too many people, and it just wasn't attractive to me, especially when it became a part of the music industry, when I knew that was not a place for it. I never felt gangsterism should be a part of the music. That's just, I'm not saying I enjoy gangster rap. It's funky as shit, but I just felt that the spillover from the music to the streets has too much negativity to it, and I never cared for that.
Yeah. Now you know what, that's a perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about next, because March 9th, 1993 is a date that Bangin' on Wax was released. Now, we've talked about Bangin' on Wax before. You've had a couple of guests that were heavily involved in Bangin' on Wax on the program. But since it's their anniversary, let's give them some shine. When you heard Bangin' on Wax was released, or you heard they were working on this album, what were your initial thoughts?
I shook my head. I said, "Ooh, shit, that's gonna be crazy." Okay. I shook my head. I said, "That's gonna be crazy." Unknown tried his best to get me involved with this project. He had an idea for slanging and banging. Man, I'm not doing that. Okay, he tried his man. We could do it. Yes, we could, but I'm not living.
What was his idea? Like, what was the idea behind this project? Like,
well, it was almost a knockoff of slanging or banging on wax. It's just that making records about slanging and banging. Okay, slanging and banging was the street, was pretty much the tone of most streets. If you was banging, you was slanging. If you was slanging, you was banging, because you had to protect your corner. Okay, and I've always been a mentor, Doc. I never mentored nobody to go to jail to get killed. That's not what I do. I don't use people as a pawn for my own success. So I couldn't do it. I wasn't interested. I'm not doing that. Although I did do flaming, but flaming was brought to me completed already. All I did was the album cover and had it mastered. Okay. And again, that reminded me of why I didn't want to do that shit. Okay. That reminded me why I didn't want to be bothered with that. Because it was, oh my God, it was a nightmare on all levels.
Tell us about the story of speaking of flaming, of your boy getting smacked up when he was trying to sell CDs, I think.
Yeah, I had my buddy doing promotion for me. One of my partners, he going to the swap meets and making sure all the swap meet stores and all the independent stores had the record. And somebody caught him, I think it was Long Beach, at the Compton swap meet on Long Beach Boulevard. And what you doing home? What you doing, cuz? Whatever the case may be. He come back to the studio. He quit, man. I quit, Lonzo. I ain't doing this no more. What's wrong, man? Head all twisted up, head and clothes all wrinkled and shit. I ain't all this right here ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it. And he was a blood. He was an established, OG. But the brothers that ran up on him. They wasn't feeling what he was doing, and he was just putting out, doing his job, giving people the product, and that just reinforced what I already suspected. He quit. I didn't try to talk him in the stand, but it just let me know that this ain't no joke, and don't play with it if you ain't gonna stay with it.
What year did Flamin' come out again?
Oh, I think that was like 80. It might have been 91. I'm not sure.
Flamin' came out in 91, so it came out before Bangin' on Wax.
No. Wait.
Bangin' on Wax is 93.
Well, it may come out 93, 95 then. Might have come out 95. Okay, I know it came out after Bangin' on Wax for sure.
Okay, looking at the clothes, yeah, it looks like mid 90s for sure. That jacket you're rocking and all that.
I'm not in Flamin'. Am I in Flamin'?
Oh, I'm looking at the compilation. You are Flamin'. Aren't you holding the pistol?
Huh? I'm compilation. I'm holding the pistol.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. That
came out in like the 80s.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
That was like 89, 88, 89 when we did Compton compilation.
Okay. So Flamin' was brought to you. Who were some of the people that were on that album?
June Dog. Damn.
Okay. June Dog from San Diego?
Huh?
San Diego June Dog, right?
No, June Dog from Pyro. From right here. Damn it. I just saw him on Facebook the other day. He's right here locally.
Okay.
Hoover, not Hoover. Damn it. I'm bad with gangs.
Okay.
But yeah, he's local cat. He's still around. He's only a few of all the guys that was on that album. I think maybe him and two other guys are still alive. Everybody else dead. They was dying before the record came out, dude. They were falling like flies before the record came out, dude. For real. Okay, it was really like every time I talk to somebody, man, so-and-so got shot. Like, God damn. And the same thing with Bangin' on Wax. Most of the people in Bangin' on Wax are dead. I think if maybe one or two artists are still around for Bangin' on Wax, and my boy Mike Frankie, who was the engineer, he's still here. Cluso came on the show and talked about Bangin' on Wax and was dead a few months later. He was a super cool brother. Had a lot of love for him. Always had love for him. And he wasn't killing a gang situation. He got killed on a motorcycle, but still, they talked about that then, that there was a curse on the Bangin' on Wax project. They felt because of what it represented, it was cursed.
Damn, dude. And yeah, Cluso mentioned in that interview, he also mentioned that some of the people on that Bangin' on Wax album, they weren't even established gang members. Like, certain people just put them together, gave them a name, told them, hey, you're from this set, or whatever the case may be. And I thought that was interesting.
Right. A lot of people just jumped on because it was something hot. And, it's a lot of people, man. A lot of people. I've seen that pretty regular that will get at a party and start claiming a set and get caught up because they was having a good time. And at that time, what they were throwing up was the set of the night. I remember one time before I shut the Eve After Dark down, Messed around and got caught up in a party, and there was a few bloods there. And this young lady, all of a sudden, she was super blood. And her sister was looking at him. She said, "This bitch must be crazy." She knew if my grandmama saw her, she'd beat her ass. That bitch ain't no gangbanger. She need to get over here and sit her ass down. But that's what it was.
Damn, dude. Can anyone find that flaming album anywhere?
Nope. If you can find it on probably on CD Baby. That's where, or you can probably download it. There's no more physical copies of it. I didn't make that many of them and didn't sell all that great. And then I got caught up because somebody started bootlegging it. Somebody grabbed some of the tracks off the album and started bootlegging it. And guys thought I cut a deal with the bootlegger. I said, bootleggers don't cut deals, fool. I mean, they was after me. They come looking for me like I had done something wrong. Okay. How about, our album's on this CD, blah, my music on this CD. What you want me to do? Look at it. They got everybody else on there too. So bottom line is, the only way I got them to calm down is I explained to them, your song must be pretty dope because most people don't bootleg bullshit. Okay. And that was the only thing that calmed them down. They understood it wasn't me. It was just part of the game at that time. Because when CDs came around, shit, everybody was stealing everybody's shit and repackaging everybody's shit. I was doing it too. I didn't do that, but I did other projects.
You know what? The Insight asked, do you think Dr. Dre replaced Eazy as the historical face of West Coast hip hop?
I mean, Dre already had his spot in West Coast hip hop before Eazy died. A historical face. I mean, he just kept the ball rolling. If anything else, I don't see Eazy's always gonna be Eazy. Dre gonna be Dre. Ain't no replacing. It's just his career was longer because he's still here.
Tristan Thomas, hold on one second. Let me pull this up because it's time for some grown ass men enlightenment, some game for these kids. Tristan Thomas is reportedly paying $120,000 a month in child support to 3 baby mamas. Talk about how expensive your sperm is and how you should probably be accountable for every last drop.
I call sperm baby batter. Okay, that's baby batter. When you unleash the baby batter and start making babies, you just gave somebody that you may not even like at some point in time an 18-year annuity, okay, at your expense. And there is in most cases, if you love the baby and don't like the mama, most cases they don't even enforce child visitation. Ask me how I know. I got a young man in my life right now dealing with the same. He's up on his child support, kid in the county, but the mama said, I don't want you to see him. Okay. And ain't nothing he can do about it. He can go to court and try and spend some more money to see his kid. And every once in a while, she may let him see the kid on Snapchat or something like that, or one of those video calls. But other than that, then the kid was hanging around, nice kid, cute kid. I like the kid, but for some reason, she got a new boyfriend, or he said something she didn't like, and the baby comes to her, and she gets to say so over when and if he sees his kid. And that's probably the worst part about it. I mean, it's one thing to have to give somebody some money that you don't like, but to give somebody some money that you don't like and not have access to what you want, that's very disheartening. Okay, I've seen several brothers go through that, and it ain't nothing worse in the world for your kid to love you and you to love your kid, and the mama mad because you done moved on. She thought she was moving on, but that didn't work out. Okay, and you moved on, and that's working out because, boy, you can get some bitter sisters when you happy, and your happiness can make somebody else very bitter. So I told my son, I got a 19-year-old son, I said, boy, and you go to the bathroom, wear a condom. Okay, do not take their word. I'm on the pill. No. You are responsible for all of that. Okay, if something jump off, You ain't got no say. So if you don't want a baby, it's too bad. If she wants one, too bad. Okay. She may think you just so cute, or she just may want to get back at you for sleeping with her friend or doing some dirt that you did before. Nah, man, you definitely have to protect yourself at all times, because you're not only protecting yourself financially, you protecting yourself emotionally and physically. It's a whole lot of cats in jail because they can't see their kids.
Okay? Yeah. Emotionally, like you said, emotions, man.
I've seen too many men break down, man. I just want to see my kid, man. You know, some guys, that's all they got, man. You working your ass off, man, giving them 15% of your income, living, what I want to say, living below your potential, and you can't see your kid either. Come on, man. You busting your ass trying to have 2 jobs or whatever the case may be, and you giving up a chunk of your money, and you can't even enjoy watching your kids be raised. Come on, man. Actually, I had kids I didn't meet till they was 10 years old, man. Okay, I got kids I didn't meet till I was 10. Okay.
Damn. Can you talk to us about that? That's kind of I don't think we ever talked about it. That's pretty deep.
You know, I don't like talking about it because my son and my daughter watch the show sometime. But
okay.
I will say this: I was looking forward. I heard about them. I wasn't sure, and I was just kind of deprived of 10 years of their life. And but the only thing about it was, once I met them, we never missed a beat. It was like we never missed a beat. So that was the only beautiful thing about it. I missed them walking. I missed them, you know, a lot of their elementary stuff. But once we got together, we never missed a beat. And that's the part, you know, I can't get mad about what didn't happen. But I'm just saying, if I was a different kind of dude, maybe I was, because when they was younger, I was doing more stuff. I probably wouldn't have had the time, no way. So I'm not putting everybody on everybody else. But I'm just saying, I know me. I was Wreckin Crew, Eve at the Dark Club, blah, blah, blah. I might not have had the time that I did when they did come down. When they did, and I finally did meet them at 10, I was able to slow down a little bit and spend more time with them. And, you know, it just, you know, but you still wonder what you missed. That's all. No matter what happens, you still might wonder what you missed. That's all.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And on the other hand, on the other side of that, my father was out of my life from age 5 to 18. I just remember he came to my 5th birthday, and I just didn't see him for like 13 years. You know, I found the story out, everything, you know, cocaine. It was a lot involved. But that being said, it's never too late, because he showed up at my high school graduation when I was 18, and we never missed a beat, man. We watch boxing every once in a while, you know, we hang out. So for anybody out there who ever thinks it's too late, it's never too late.
Me and my son shoot pool every chance we get, Doc. That's our thing. We shoot pool, okay? He likes shooting pool. I like shooting pool. I whip his ass. He whipped my ass. One time I get to beat your ass, and you can't call the police. Anyway.
Yeah. Love it. Hey, you know what? Let's keep it on some grown-ass men enlightenment real quick. I know you and Dre do the show on Thursdays where you probably talk about this a lot, but the Insight wants to know, hey, Lonzo, you talked about your prostate issues. My question is, how has your lifestyle changed as far as diet, and do you recommend any changes for guys just getting to their middle age years?
Yeah, dude. You know, when I got prostate cancer, they hit me with the chart of where prostate cancer is most prevalent, and the more industrialized the country, America, Germany, and England, has a higher rate of prostate cancer. A lot of what causes prostate cancer is what we eat. I had to back off of a lot of different stuff. I love fried chicken, and I stopped eating meat. Period. As of right now, I'm not even eating meat. Now I will cheat on a weekend and grab me a couple of barbecue wings from my favorite barbecue spot. But for the most part, Monday through Friday, I don't eat meat. I realize I have to drink a lot more water, and that's something I'm doing as it stands right now. This is just flavored water, because water is boring as hell. Prostate cancer is something that is worse than high blood pressure. It's worse than diabetes, because it don't have no real symptoms. And the only reason why I even knew something was wrong, the doctor told me, he did the 2-finger thing, and he said, your prostate is enlarged, and I noticed I started going to the restroom a lot. But again, I'm trying to drink more water to keep my system flushed.
When you say restroom, you mean 1 and 2, 1 or 2, or 1 and 2?
One. Even now, I stay in the bathroom. People think I'm crazy. What you doing? You doing junkie? Yes, no, I gotta go pee. Okay.
I pee all the time, and that was starting to worry me. And I told my doctor, and he said everything's checked out fine. So
if your PSA is fine and your prostate is not enlarged, you're probably drinking a lot of water and just got to go to the bathroom. Okay, that's as simple as that. And you know, it's amazing. They tell you drink water to lose weight, but then you get water weight. And I'm always confused about that. But getting back to the prostate thing, prostate cancer is in the top 4 killers of Black men. Only second or third to heart disease and diabetes and bullets. Okay, this is in the top. That one of them top 4. We can damn sure eradicate that.
Don't belong. What? Yeah, which one of these don't belong? What was that old?
These don't belong here. Okay, so prostate cancer is something natural. It's caused by your diet. We eat a lot of processed foods, man. We have a lot of stuff in our water. We have stuff in everything we eat. You got all kind of names you can hardly pronounce. If you start checking some of the definitions of some of that stuff, you realize and find out what it does, the side effects. You're like, damn, you realize you shouldn't be putting that in your body. But if you flush, you drink a lot of water, you can keep stuff moving. And your body's like anything else, man. It's like pipes. You got to keep pipes flushed, or if not, stuff starts to rust. And you start, it's like when you have see guys with big old bellies, that's because they got a lot of food sitting in that belly, man. It's undigested, and it's only a matter of time before they could possibly develop colon cancer. Okay, if you go to the restroom, man, if you ain't, if you look at your production in the toilet, if it ain't the right color, and we ain't gonna get into all that right now, you might want to talk to somebody or take something, because it's supposed to be a certain color and look a certain way. Okay, you're not going to the bathroom like you're supposed to. You're supposed to go see a doctor and find out why. So as middle-aged brothers, when you start getting around, they used to say 50, but because we eat so much bad shit at an early age for so long, now it's down to 45, okay, and 40. I've talked to brothers in their 30s who was dealing with prostate issues. Understand, prostate cancer pretty much comes from what we eat, okay? Now, when I was a kid, my mama cooked most of the time, okay? By the time I got a little older, I started eating more and more bullshit, okay? And by the time I got 50-something, bullshit had kicked in, okay? So now I'm dealing with prostate cancer. But now you got people been eating bullshit for a long time, most of their life, okay? Some people was raised on McDonald's and that make food, okay? So if you've been eating Mac food for a long period of time and you ain't getting no real nourishment, or you're getting some preservatives and other things that's not supposed to be in your body, that could lead to prostate cancer. I'm not saying it does, but I'm saying that's a very good possibility. So by you eating worse for longer, it raises your potential for prostate cancer. They say in the Black community, 7 out of 10 men will have 6 out of 10 Black men will have prostate cancer at some point in their life. 6 out of 10. Okay, that's some pretty rough odds, bro. And most of the time, guys get it when they get older. Okay, but again, based on your lifestyle, what you eat, and what you do, how is your activity level, man? That's why you see me walk. That's why you see me walking on Sunday. If you got anybody on my Facebook page, I'm walking every Sunday, man. 5 miles, me and my boys. Okay, 5 miles. Everybody out there, 50 plus. Okay, most of us are a lot older than that, but we have so many friends that had strokes, heart attacks, and other health issues. We had to start doing something, because only time we got together was at funerals or meeting up in the hospital lobby. Okay, because at one point in time, you go to see somebody in the hospital, can't see but one person at a time. So we in the lobby talking, and dude, you just gotta let some shit go, man. You gotta let some shit go, and that's the hard part. I used to be a sugar junkie. I still am a sugar junkie. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a sugar junkie, but I got a lot better. Used to be a time I couldn't pay for shit without grabbing me a Mr. Good bar. I couldn't do it. And you know, you go to CVS, they got all this Mr. Good bar, the Milky Ways, everything sitting right there. Oh, it's throwing on up there. It ain't but $2. Okay. And I learned to let them go. I used to love zingers, them yellow zingers. Oh my God. And ding dongs. Oh my God. I had a ding dong or a zinger in damn near 6 months. But that's because when you start talking to people, and especially when they're older than you and they looking good and they tell you, well, I do 50 push-ups a day. I drink a lot. I drink water. I'll cut out all them sugars and blah, blah, blah. And my son works at a bakery, always bringing something to the house. And he said, man, I might eat a piece of cake, but eat half of it. Eat just enough to get your fix and then put the rest of it away. Eat half of it. Okay, you ain't got to eat the whole thing. And he said, that makes a big difference. I still got my sugar fix, but I don't have to worry, I'm not overdoing it to the point where I'm going to spike my sugar levels up when I'm going to be, hopefully, won't be on dialysis. And that's real shit.
Yeah. Spin that game. Let's go to some questions that stored up from the past couple of weeks. Someone asked, who was or is the smartest member, besides you, of course, of World Class Wrecking Crew? Clientele. Thank you, Marlon Cozy. Shout out to Marlon Cozy.
I see you, Marlon. Much love to you, Doc. Clientele by far. Clientele is on the way to getting his doctor's degree. Clientele he left the crew to go to college. He's the only one that got any major college behind him. Okay, he's the only one that has a degree in anything. All right, I got a degree in these streets. Okay, but for the most part, Clientele, he's always been a studious guy. Not bad Clientele. We work at the library, man. You got to be smart to work at the library. Okay, and I'll sit there in front of anybody. Clientele is everybody else is pretty much high school graduates. Dre and Yellow High. Oh, I don't know about Dre. I don't know for sure, but we all high school graduates. I went to college for 2 years, didn't get a degree, but Clientele went and stuck it out. He got his BA, and now he's going for his master's. That's
dope. Is Clientele the one who used to walk clear across town through gang-infested territory to get to your club?
No, Clientele lived in Village. He's right across from the club, pretty much. Yeah.
There was someone who, I don't know, you told a story one time of someone who literally would like almost every night walk from
that was Snake Puppy and Egyptian Lover, man.
Egyptian Lover. There you go. That's who it was.
Snake Puppy and Egyptian Lover told me that story. Snake Puppy told that story in my documentary, that he and Egyptian Lover used to walk like 60 blocks to the eve after dark. And even in the 80s, that was a nice, in the 80s, you can walk through people's hoods. And if you look like a square, and he ain't trip on you. Okay. Yeah, he ain't with the business. Okay. And they did that. Guess who I talked to the other day though, man?
Who's that?
I talked to D.L. Hughley.
No shit.
D.L. Hughley used to perform at Eve After Dark. Okay. He's from the neighborhood on the other side of 135th Street called the Fives.
Yeah, I think he ran with the Bloods at once.
He told me he tried to. He said it didn't work out for him that well. Okay. There was Bloods too. There's actually two Pyru streets, one between San Pedro and Avalon, and another one between off of Central. Central by Dudos is the OG, and the other one is kind of, I ain't gonna say a knockoff, but it's a spinoff, put it that way. But they're not as notorious as the guys over on the other side. But they tried their hand at gangbanging, but it really wasn't all that serious. They became the Fives, and then they were Bloods, and they eventually, they still do their thing, but they never been that serious. They was more of a defensive gang than an offensive gang that I can recall. Anyway, I saw him. His birthday was Sunday, and I saw him with my boy Jay King from Timex Social Club and Club Nouveau. I keep calling him Timex Club Nouveau. And Jay hooked me up with him. We had a chance to chit chat. See, man, I performed. I remember him performing there, but he was so young because DL he's about Dre's age, and he performed at Eve After Dark. I said, yeah, man, I used to walk to Eve all the time and party with y'all and watch Robin Harris perform. And he told me stuff I forgot. So anyway, I just had to mention that because I'm doing the Eve After Dark documentary, and I'm hoping he'll be a part of it. He said he would, so I'm looking forward to him doing a little part of the documentary.
That's dope, man. I love that. Someone else, World Class Wrecking Crew was one of the first rap groups at the time to tour with R&B acts. What made you guys different?
Because we didn't have anybody to pattern ourselves off on the West Coast. I mean, we were the first ones. Okay. I see you, Isaiah. Much love to you, Doc. Much love to you, Isaiah. We were the first ones to hit the stage with R&B groups. We could not wear jeans and tennis shoes and black leather jackets and grab our nuts. We had to come out with steps and shit. And it was almost 3 years before we started seeing other hip hop groups. And even then we were Force MDs and Rapping Duke and stuff like groups like that. So we still basically with R&B groups. And was later on after Dre them left, I started performing with UTFO and Real Roxanne and folks like that. But for the most part, we always performed with R&B groups. Morris Day at a Time, Climax, Mary Jane Girls. So we definitely had to do our thing different. The hip hop that you guys know today, Grabbing Your Nuts, even Run DMC was still coming up when we started doing our thing as World Class Wrecking Crew.
Okay. If you can somehow compare World Class Wrecking Crew to an act in the 2000s, the last 10 years, who would you compare them to if you could?
Man, that's a good question, dude.
Yeah. I mean, because like the Migos are pretty pop. I mean, they do music with like, R&B acts and things like that.
Man, that's a good question.
Might have to sit on that one.
Well, think about this though. This is what made World Class Wrecking Crew so unique. Yeah, we were a group, but the group leader also owned the label. The DJ was the producer. Okay, we had 2 DJs, 2 producers in World Class Wrecking Crew, and the label owner within the group. So I mean, it's going to be hard to reproduce what we did back in the day. What I did was set a precedent for Eazy, Puffy, and what's the name? Beyonce's old man, Jay-Z. Because wasn't nobody doing it like that before. There was nobody owning the group, owning the label, being in the group. I was told I couldn't do it. My question was always why? Because they don't do it. Who the fuck is they? Why are they in my business? Okay. So as a young man who always wanted to be in a group, but I couldn't sing, this rapping thing gave me a chance to have some fun. And that was, dude. And I think that's what hip hop is missing so much today. Is ain't nobody having no fun. Yeah, you having some fun, but you having fun just with your chasing, running from bullets, and with your blood pressure high as hell because you on some kind of psychedelic drug or whatever the case may be. We had natural fun. Nobody back then was getting high. Wasn't nobody smoke. Dre wasn't smoking. Yellow ain't never smoked nothing. We wasn't drinking all that shit you saw straight out of Compton. We didn't do that. There was no alcohol in my house. None. Never was. I ain't never shared a drink with Dre in my life. Yellow, none of them. I ain't never shared a drink, never shared a joint with none of them. I did my own private shit, did my own private dirt with my other friends. Yes, I did, but not with them. Because they were so much younger than me. I didn't want to be a bad influence. It was a different time. So, yeah, man, it just.
That's funny that you said that, because in Straight Outta Compton, they portrayed you as someone who was accepting that, letting them drink and all that. And I was arguing with someone going back and forth with someone in the comment section who was talking to me about a story that I knew is not true because I heard it directly from you. And he was quoting Straight Outta Compton. I was like, dude, Lonzo already told me that's not real. Anybody
who knows Lonzo, I've been running nightclubs for 40 years. If my bartenders have very seldom ever seen me take a drink. When I take a drink, I done had a real good night. It's time to close the club. I don't drink while the club is running. If I get a drink, I got a pile of money to count. I'm feeling pretty good. And I'm going to my office and lock the door and grab my pistol. And I'm going to count my money. Okay. But far as me walking around the club drunk or having to have a drink, don't do it. I got alcohol right now in my office. I got alcohol from the club. I ain't touched in 3 years. It ain't never excited. My mom and dad both drank a lot. Alcohol never affected. It never. I was never attracted to it like that. I will drink. Don't get me wrong. I have a drink with shit. If you pouring, I'm drinking. Depending on where we at and what we doing. If I got to drive, I ain't drinking. I'm not drinking. If I'm in Vegas, I'm getting fucked up. If I'm in my hotel room and I'm playing blackjack and all I got to do is get to the elevator, I'm on. Just on and cracking, okay? But other than that, nope. If you're going to put me in an Uber, I ain't drinking, okay?
Yeah, that's a good way to live, man. Isaiah Edwards, shout out to Isaiah. He says, Lonzo, what made Motown so special and successful?
Motown was successful because they had a farm team. They had a system. You had to learn how to walk, talk, sing, dance, everything. When you came into Motown, you just didn't take your raw talent and go to the streets. You had to go through an etiquette class to teach you how to do interviews. You had to go to a tailor, make sure your clothes fit a certain way. You had to go to a dance class to teach you how to dance and move. Look at the Temptations, man. Watch some of them old movies with Temptations. I haven't seen the Supremes movie yet, but it was a system. Berry Gordy had a house, and everybody was from that neighborhood. It was a neighborhood thing, dude. And you know what? As I think about that, when I think about Motown, I think about Crew Cut and Eve After Dark. That was all neighborhood shit, man. Everybody came from my neighborhood for the most part. Everybody either came from my neighborhood or knew somebody from my neighborhood to get to me. Okay, and that's the same thing that made Berry Gordy and Motown so successful, because the Temptations, the Smokey Robinson, they all was hanging. They went to school together and shit, man. Martha Reeves, one of them was the secretary at Motown. She was a typist first, then she could mess around and start singing. So everybody had to bring something to the table. Then even when they put a record out, watch the Motown story. How they would when they would make a record, would you buy this record or buy a sandwich first? If they said the sandwich, the shit wasn't a hit. Okay. If you buy a sandwich before you buy this record, it wasn't a hit. And they had the system. They just didn't drop records like that. Then they had musicians that were a part of the sound. They had a sound that was undeniably theirs. Okay. And I forgot what they called what were the guys they called there? The
producers.
They had. Well, you got to understand Motown. Okay. Motown had writers, producers, and the talent. Most of the time, they were not the same people. You had people like Smokey Robinson writing the lyrics. Then you had Holland Dozier Holland writing lyrics. Then you had other people doing the actual production of the song. What's that brother's name? That he was on that movie. I can't think of his name. Y'all threw me off. But anyway, he was a very prominent producer for Motown. So you got somebody who would write the songs, somebody produced the music, and then you would give it to these youngsters who had the energy and the talent to bring it all home. So you got three different entities. You got nowadays
the Funk Brothers.
The Funk Brothers were the band. Thank you. The Funk Brothers were the band. Thank you, Isaiah. Much love to you, Doc. The Funk Brothers were the band. They played on everybody's songs. And then you had, like you said, you had Smokey Robinson, Berry Gordy was writing songs, but you also had producers who were real musicians. And you got to understand, back in the day when they was making music, Motown, the Philly sound, all these guys were very competitive. That's why you heard so many orchestras and you heard so many strings and horns and shit. These guys were trained musicians, and all that right there was a part of the musical paint they used to paint that picture. And that's why them pictures are still beautiful today, or they're audibly beautiful today, because you had so people that knew what they were doing. They didn't strip it down to just one or two instruments. They had a whole orchestra. And then Barry White came in the 70s with some new shit that nobody ever heard before. He put a kick drum on an orchestra and just changed the game again. So all these guys, you got all these guys that were competing to be the biggest and the best. Okay. Norman Whitfield, that's who the producer was. Norman Whitfield. He was the producer for Motown. He produced, Holland Dozier Holland was a writing and production team. Smokey was a producer, a writer, but Norman Whitfield also was a producer for Motown. But you got 17, 18-year-old kids that can sing their ass off, but you got grown folks telling them how to do it and do it right. Okay. And I think that's one of the reasons why some of the songs these days kind of suck, because they talking from their own personal experiences, and it's limited them to who they can appeal to. Okay. You can only appeal to people your age if you're talking about shit that your age does. Okay. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Ashford and Anthem. Thank you. Ashford and Simpson.
Thank you, Smoke G, for looking out, Smoke G.
Ashford and Simpson also wrote songs for Motown. Some of their biggest hits. So you got people bringing groups like Jackson 5, and they taking Michael and Jermaine and Tito and all the fellas, and they teaching them how to step and dance and buying them clothes and what you call that shit when you buy your clothes?
Taylor.
No, not Taylor, but damn it, it's like a wardrobe person. They give you a look.
Oh, okay.
The stylist give you a look. Then the producer give you a sound, and then they package that and sell it to the world. Okay, so I was always jealous. I thought Jermaine played all that shit on all them Jackson 5 records. That wasn't Jermaine. That was a real bass player. Then Jermaine learned from him how to play the shit on the show. And then sometimes Jermaine, it'd be a guy in the background playing behind the curtain. Okay, the Jackson 5 was out front. They'd have a band in the back playing some of that shit too. Same thing Prince used to do with Vanity 6. If you saw Prince, More Stay in the Time, and Vanity 6. First of all, I'm sorry. You would always see Vanity 6 first, and Vanity More Stay in the Time was the backup band for Vanity 6. Then the curtain would come back, and then you see More Stay in the Time play. Then they would take all that shit away, except for the drums and the keyboards, and then Prince and his people would come and play. Okay.
Yeah, someone said like Milli Vanilli, and that was the first thing that popped in my head.
Well, you know what? The instrumentation was all loud. Wasn't nobody faking and singing. Michael always sang, Jermaine always sang, but sometimes you had to, they was youngsters, so you had to have some real musicians to rock them concerts. Yeah, I wouldn't say Milli Vanilli per se, but it was Milli Vanilli-ish. Okay.
Damn, dude, that's crazy, man. Well, that hour flew by, dude.
Huh?
Any last words, man? That hour flew by. Any last words?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna be in Riverside this weekend, folks. Check out my shirt again. They are now available. The Eve After Dark shirts. I'm gonna put them on my website. I just got them a few minutes ago, so I got to put them on my website. They'll be available at $20 plus shipping, folks. Eve After Dark shirts, presented by Lonzo. So yeah, folks, I'll be in Riverside at the Me, Yella, and Clientele. We'll be out doing a book side in Riverside at the Boombox store in the Tyler Mall Saturday afternoon, and it's going down, folks. We just having a ball. We got some big shit going on. I'm so glad I ain't got to wear that fucking mask anymore.
Man, oh man, dude.
If you're glad you ain't got to wear that mask no more, man, somebody say something in the chat room, please. Show me some thumbs up in the chat room. Okay?
Smash that like if you are done.
Smash that like. That goddamn. I was so glad, and people didn't get the memo that the mask thing has been lifted because a lot of people still wear the mask. And I got to look around to make sure that, did I forget something? Because I'm downtown LA yesterday and everybody got a mask on. Everybody got a mask on. I'm like, I'm the only one that got a mask on. I go to the restaurant, nobody got a mask on. So I felt much better.
Yeah, thank you, Lord. Oh, man. Always good chatting with you, man. Learning that game and talking some hip-hop and some history, dude.
So drive-bys will now become walk-bys, run-bys, or bike-bys. Ain't nobody go shoot nobody in the ass. All right, folks. If you get a chance to check out the hip hop for peace on somebody's platform tomorrow. Check Facebook, Instagram. It's all over the place. Check it out, support it. And Dusty, much love to you, Doc. We about to ready to wrap this puppy up.
Always a pleasure, man.
All right, folks. Like I say all the time, West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. You are live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, from Eve After Dark, the concerts in the park. Dusty, much love. Chat room, much love to you, folks. Everybody that drops something in the chat room, thank you very much for all your donations. We appreciate it. See y'all later. Peace.